You are about to watch an absolute masterclass in political accountability. Congressman Ro Khanna completely traps a Washington witness who publicly advocated for stripping 1.5 million Chinese Americans of their citizenship. It is ruthless, it is direct, and wait until you see the exact moment this guy's entire argument implodes on live TV and he pulls out the most desperate defense in the book. Before we roll the tape, do me a massive favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe so you never miss a breakdown, and drop a comment right now letting me know exactly where you're watching from. Let's dive straight into the footage.
Mr. Lucci, a few months ago you tweeted out, quote, 2 Chinese Americans accused of attempted bombing at MacDill Air Force Base gained U.S. citizenship via birthright. They are not loyal to the USA. There are 1,500,000 more, quote, Chinese Americans essentially born in Saipan, which is a U.S. territory, and raised in communist China. Denaturalize them all. I'd like to offer you an opportunity to correct the record for such a bigoted and xenophobic statement. Do you believe millions of Chinese Americans who gained citizenship through birthright should be denaturalized, or are you simply a racist?
Congressman, what I'm referring to are Chinese folks who are just born in a U.S. territory and then go immediately back to China. They live their whole life in China. The estimate of 1.5 million comes from a book that came out.
I'm just asking you a simple question. Do you believe these people should be denaturalized? It's U.S. law that anyone born in a U.S. territory is an American citizen. Do you believe that 1.5 million should be denaturalized?
I think that if they're loyal to the Chinese Communist Party.
I'm not asking that. I'm saying they're born here. Do you think they should be denaturalized? 1.5 million.
Congressman, I understand under the current laws that they have citizenship.
And you think that should be changed?
I think that if they have practically zero nexus to the United States of America other than they were born in a territory, I think it's worth considering that, yes.
Do you believe Chinese Americans are more disloyal than other Americans?
Congressman, there are 7 Chinese Americans who live in my household. I do not think that they are more disloyal than other
So you
Americans.
just think that they should be denaturalized even if they were born here?
So there are 2 types of issue we're talking about here. There are folks who are born here, they're just raised here. They're Americans like you and I. It's a very different thing when you have folks, my understanding is about 50,000 per year, are just born in a territory. They're there for a couple weeks, and then they go back and they're raised in China. I think that
They're saying 1.5 million.
Right, there's 50,000, and then you add it up over years. 50 to 100,000 per year. It's going on 15 to 20 years of this. So I actually think that this is a very clear security threat because we've seen this. So there's a gentleman.
Are you saying this for? So are you saying any American born here who then goes to a foreign country and is raised there should be denaturalized? Is that your position?
That's not my position.
What is your position then?
When the federal government defines adversaries, which the federal government does, and then the federal government says these adversaries pose a national security risk to us, and then when you're not
talking about that. You're talking about a blanket statement. You're saying basically in your tweet you say, and I can't believe you're not walking it back. I fundamentally find it fundamentally racist. I mean, I don't use that word. I don't think I've used that word in 10 years in a committee hearing. But the reality is that you're basically saying that if you're Chinese American and you're born under U.S. law in a territory, you should be denaturalized. And I'm asking you, is that just applied to China, or are you saying anyone who's born in a U.S. territory, if they then go to live in another country and are there raised till 18, that they should be denaturalized?
Congressman, let me restate. My household has 8 people in it.
I don't really care about your household. That's like saying I'm friends with someone who's black, but I'm still a racist. I want to know what your actual policy is.
Congressman, you accuse me of racism against.
Yes, I do. I think you're a racist. I think you are a racist.
So you're accusing me of racism.
I'm not accusing you. I'm saying the actual statement. I think your statements are racist against Chinese Americans, and I'm trying to understand whether you believe that this is just Chinese Americans who should be denaturalized, or whether you believe that anyone born here who goes to a foreign country and is raised should be denaturalized.
The second part, certainly, that's not what I said. What I said was that when folks are born in a territory, they're there for a week or 2, they go back to communist China, they have no real nexus to the United States of America, that we should consider that. I think that it creates a clear.
But are you saying that just for Chinese Americans or for anyone born in the United States who goes and is raised in a foreign country should be denaturalized?
I would consider it for foreign adversary nations as defined by the federal government. That's where the federal
So you want
government
to denaturalize Iranian Americans, you want to denaturalize Russian Americans, you want to denaturalize Korean Americans, North Korean. I mean, where does this end?
When folks have no, my point was, in the number of 1.5, obviously there are way more people of Chinese descent born in the United States of America, birthright through that. 1.5 is the estimated number of people born just in a territory. They're there for a very short amount of time, and then they're raised in China, loyal to the Chinese Communist Party. I think that that's a clear security risk. But I'll repeat, I take direct offense. You're saying I'm racist against my own family. My family is largely
Chinese Americans. Yes, I do.
Congressman, with all due respect, I think that's
we'll put out this exchange, and the American people can decide when you're talking about eliminating birthright citizenship for Chinese Americans whether they think you're a racist. I think a lot of Asian Americans and many Americans will think you are.
I think that when people see that I have a Chinese wife and 4 Chinese children,
I don't think that excuses racism.
I don't think they're going to see racism in that, sir.
What we are witnessing in this explosive congressional testimony is nothing short of a masterclass in political accountability. Congressman Ro Khanna doesn't just question a witness. He systematically dismantles a man attempting to disguise blatant, unconstitutional xenophobia as a mainstream national security policy. In a defining exchange that every American needs to see, Khanna forces this witness to sit under oath and confront his own public rhetoric, specifically, a horrifying tweet demanding the mass denaturalization of 1.5 million Chinese Americans. It is a chilling reminder of the extreme logical conclusion of modern right-wing identity politics, and Khanna refuses to let it slide. The brilliance of Khanna's approach lies in his surgical precision. He cuts right through the witness's frantic attempts to pivot and spin. When confronted with the sheer radicalism of wanting to strip citizenship from nearly 2 million people, the witness immediately tries to hide behind deflection tactics, pivoting to the Chinese Communist Party and the supposed threat of birth tourism. But Khanna refuses to let him move the goalposts. He pins the man directly to the bedrock law of the land, the 14th Amendment. Khanna reminds the room, and the nation, that birthright citizenship applies to everyone born on U.S. soil. Period. By doing so, he makes it undeniably clear that suggesting the government strip American citizenship based on someone's ethnicity or ancestral homeland is not a legitimate national security debate. It is the textbook definition of racism. As the pressure mounts and Khanna refuses to let up, the witness completely implodes. He slips up and reveals a deeply dangerous, un-American worldview, openly advocating for a tiered system of citizenship. He suggests this draconian rule should apply specifically to people from foreign adversary nations. Think about the terrifying precedent that sets. He is essentially arguing that the constitutional rights of millions of American citizens should be conditional, fluctuating based on whether Washington is currently getting along with the country their parents or grandparents emigrated from. But the absolute climax of this testimony, the moment the witness's credibility permanently shatters on live television, is when he realizes he has lost on the facts and pulls out the ultimate, desperate shield. He actually tries to claim he cannot be racist because his wife and children are Chinese American. It is the oldest, most exhausted defense in the political playbook, and Khanna's counterstrike is absolutely lethal. Khanna completely bypasses the man's personal household to focus entirely on the weaponized reality of his public rhetoric. He flawlessly makes the point that having an immigrant family does not give you a free pass to promote a discriminatory, bigoted policy that paints millions of Asian Americans as inherently disloyal. Ultimately, this testimony isn't just a viral political win for Ro Khanna. It is a fierce, necessary defense of the Constitution. Khanna exposed the ugly underbelly of modern xenophobia, leaving the witness trapped in his own bigotry and serving a powerful reminder that American citizenship is absolute, non-negotiable, and entirely immune to this kind of political malpractice. Khanna drew the line in the sand, but I want to know where you stand. Drop your thoughts on this testimony in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more unapologetic breakdowns right here on Reactionary Politics, and I'll catch you in the next one.